I remember when I first moved to my mom's apartment here where I am currently. It was actually when my parents separated around, like, I think it was 2 years ago. Man, time flies, like I don't even know what year it is. But anyway, it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. And you know what was very, very interesting was that one of the first nights, I've actually got a TV right here, and I remember that I sat and I specifically watched a YouTube video. It was a motivational speech from Dr. Jordan Peterson, and you probably know who that is. It's just an intellectual online who is like a clinical psychologist, and you can Google his name if you want to know more. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. And I was watching a motivational speech, and I actually felt very, very productive. And I was watching one motivational speech, I was watching another, and two wasn't enough, so I watched three. I watched 4 motivational speeches by Jordan Peterson. And instead of actually doing the things that I knew was going to make myself more productive, for example, I was going to learn more productivity tactics and habits that I knew was going to increase my productivity, or I was just going to sit down and do the work, because then you are productive. You don't really need any productivity tactics for that. And you know what was very, very interesting was that I watched 4 speeches in a row, and I didn't learn anything. I remember that the messaging was a bit about like discipline and what you can do to become better, and like what your purpose is in life and why you should choose purpose over fun and all of that. And I don't really remember how it stuck together or the messaging, because I was just thinking to myself, yeah, I'm so great, I am motivated, I am disciplined, whatever. And you might as well think that that is actually great, and to a degree it can be. A piece of advice that I would give to my younger self is that instead of watching this, it can be great to some degree, because you're introducing yourself to this message. A more intellectual video where people give you certain advice that you can actually take away if you feel like you relate to their story, and if you feel like the advice is great. About a year later, I remember that I was sat in my bed again, and I was watching on my phone another video. It was a video about discipline, and I actually got reminded of these speeches by Jordan Peterson when I watched this video, and it was about discipline. And discipline is something that is very, very interesting, because this discipline guide wasn't something very, very normal. It was like 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours or however long it was. It was just bombarded with things you can do to become better, to become more disciplined, what discipline is. Like, he covered everything that I needed to know about discipline, and that's actually one of the reasons that I've improved such significantly, because I've understood the concept of discipline and doing the things that you specifically don't feel like. And since that day, a message has stuck to me very, very well. It was a message that was from Jordan Peterson in these speeches as well, but I didn't pick it up because I wasn't eligible for that message at that time. And I remember that it was to do something small that feels uncomfortable today, that you know you don't want to do. So for example, it can be making your bed, cleaning up your room, just taking up the pile of clothes that's been laying on your floor for about a week, or the water bottles that has been standing on your desk that you don't even drink from, or whatever it may be. Like something very, very small that you usually don't do. And this hit me. I didn't make my bed. I never made my bed, to be honest. My room was just such a mess. And a quote that I really like by Jordan Peterson is that your room is an externalization of you, because to the degree that you are in your room, you are your room, because you have to take responsibility for that. It's your responsibility to keep it clean and all of that. And what was very, very interesting here is that since that day, I have only missed making my bed once. And think about that, more than 1 year has passed, and I never missed to make my bed. And the reason that I'm doing that is if you're very, very careful with these small things, and you do them precisely and you do them well. Like for example, I would say that my bed is actually pretty well made. I don't take that much time to make it. I just take 1 or 2 minutes every single morning. Once we are careful with the micro things in life, like for example, making our bed, making sure our room is clean and all of that, that becomes we can make so much more progress in the macro things in life, because we've taken responsibility for the small things first. And once we start doing that, we can make such immense progress towards other things. For example, if we want to start a business, if we want to level up our discipline, or whatever it may be. My camera is just turning off every single 5 or 10 or 30 seconds, like my phone, so that's why I'm clicking on it. And I'm going to be very precise here, but that's just one of the greatest learning lessons from my own understanding. Just be careful with these things. Find something that you can actually challenge yourself with, like for example making your bed, cleaning up your room, just doing something small every single day, and I know that you can make such immense progress with that. And if you feel like you've been struggling a bit for the past couple of months or weeks or whatever it may have been, and you want my personal help, you can actually book a free call with the link in the description. And just be careful with that, and I really hope that you got some value out of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.